Today on episode 16 of the Freak Frack podcast.
Every PK's been there. Their whole life, you've been told, like, God's going to use you. You're going to be in the ministry.
Because all those conversations are like, okay, Janet. Yep, go back to the kids' ministry.
All right. You know how many okay Janets we've all collectively probably. Okay, Janet, go back to selling essential oils in the lobby. Thank you. You know. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Frick Frack podcast. I'm Taylor Ransom, and today we are honored to have as a guest Peabod Raps, who is by far my favorite rapper, no joke. I love this dude. He's got such a great positive energy and such an encouraging vibe to his music. He's a PK like me and Johnathan here.
He's actually one of the first guests that Taylor wanted on the show. I was like, who's Peabod?
I was. When we first started the show, I was like, what guest do I want to have? And I was like, I want to have Peabod on. He was one of the first people.
Yeah, and I've gone on a listening binge recently because, like, I'm like hooked on this guy's music now. So thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Peabod.
Yeah, it's very welcome. I have great music taste, as you guys can see, and you guys might get a taste of that on today's show. But before we get into the episode, just wanted to take a minute and tell you guys how you can support this show since you love it so much. You're here listening. There's three ways you can do that. And the first one is with merch. Jonathan's wearing the Churchy merch right now. We have Churchy merch, which is like the Friends logo, but it's got Churchy instead, and it's my favorite merch we've made so far.
For all you over-churched people. This is
like
for you.
Me, the people that were raised behind a pew. You guys can go on TaylorRansom.net and get it with free shipping, as well as Frick Frack merch, which is also available. We have stickers and we have merch. We have all of that available. And then also for people that like to support this show on a monthly basis, if you sign up for a $5 a month Patreon tier, I'll send you free stickers. I'll send you two free stickers. Free stickers. And they're nice big stickers. You can put them on your laptop, on your phone, on your hydro flasks, if that's your move. Whatever you'd like to do. It's awesome. And it's a way to display support for the show. I'll send you a Churchy sticker and a Frick Frack sticker if you sign up for the $5 a month tier. And I really appreciate it, guys, that you would support my content and this podcast. It means so much to me.
And if you want to support us in a different way, you can go on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. We love reading those, and it really helps us putting us up and recommended, and it helps spread the gospel and spread the show.
Yeah, totally. When you leave a 5-star review on Apple or wherever you're listening, if it's available, it helps the show reach more people, helps more people tune in and listen. They're going to come to know I just totally screwed up what I was saying. They're going to meet Jesus in some way, okay? Maybe some passive way, I don't know. But they're also going to have a good time, and it helps us as well when it gets out to more people. So thank you so much for doing that. Now, I don't want to keep you anymore because this episode is so incredibly awesome. It's inspirational, it's motivational, it's encouraging, and it's just a good old-fashioned fun time. So without further ado, let's go to Peabod Raps. We are so honored now to have on the show none other than my favorite rapper. Peabod Raps joins us on Frick Frack. Here he is.
Your favorite rapper, that means so much to me. Thank you.
It is, by far. Champagne Poppy who? I don't want to hear about it.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear about it. Peabod Raps, dude. I remember that first time I ever saw any of your content. Period. It was actually when you. I remember this. You followed me on Instagram. Your whole gallery was like a setup of videos and stuff. You had you laying in like peas on the ground. And I don't think you had a lot of followers at the time. Not to roast you, but I saw it and I was like,
I didn't.
This dude's got some stuff going on. I was like, what this he's got like sponsors or something. And I know you don't. Not at the time. Not at the time, at least. It was just you. And I was like, dude, I went and I listened to, that was right before you released Healthy Snacks, which, by the way, we can talk about Healthy Snacks later. But I was like, I heard that music and I was like, dude, dang it. If I was a rapper, that's what I would want to be making, man. But, you know.
Oh, thank you, man.
Not cool enough to quite be that yet. So let me go ahead. You're on the show. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself? Where are you at right now?
Oh, man. Well, I'm in beautiful Seattle area, Washington. Oh, I say Seattle area because in Washington, you know Seattle, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you're not there, no one knows anything else. But that feels like a long time ago, laying in the peas. That was the first little, which that by the way was I had this whole music video planned out for the first song on Healthy Snacks, and then my roommate at the time, who's also my video guy, I was like explaining this concept to him, and he's like, nah, man, you got to just lay in a bunch of peas. It's going to be way better. And so we literally bought $50 worth of frozen peas and put them in a box, and I just laid in them, and it was super gross. But we got that shot. We got Taylor Ransom's attention. So that's all
paid
I need.
off, obviously.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, so I'm in quarantine with my wife. We're just, trying to not catch the dreaded Rona. She's playing Animal Crossing in the background somewhere, and we're gonna
have to exchange friend codes. Do you play Animal Crossing?
I haven't actually gotten to try it yet because she's been so invested, but it looks so fun. So we absolutely need to do that.
It's so fun. It matches your vibe, man. It's like super positive. You just like go around and collect bugs and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a game about getting in debt.
Yeah, theoretically, Dave Ramsey wouldn't like this game. You show up in Animal Crossing, first thing that happens is you told you own a mortgage.
That's the realism of the game.
That's the realism. You just show up and I didn't ask for this debt. Well, too bad. You have it. You're gonna pay it back now. But That's how it is, man.
It is really funny that we go into quarantine and then we instantly get a game that's about like daily task that no one wants to do in real life. But now we're like, we can do it in Animal Crossing.
This is awesome. I can go to work and I can trade stuff and sell stuff and I have to pay bills. This is awesome. I'm so glad I paid $60 for this.
But everything is so cute. So it's like, oh, it's this cute little bill. Yeah. I totally want to pay that.
Of course. Cute bill. No, man. So quarantine's interesting, but one thing I like about quarantine is, it actually makes me look back a little bit and reminisce on the positive times.
On the good old days.
I thought about that. And one thing I remember from when you were first starting out, like you said a minute ago, when you made that Laying in the Peas video. First of all, I got to ask, because that was your first album, Healthy Snacks, and I got to know, how many healthy snacks do you actually eat? Because did you just eat one and then you're like, boom, I got to make an album about this? Or is this a way of life for you? Because I've eaten probably 4 or 5 healthy snacks in my life. I think one time I had a what is it, celery with peanut butter on it? Yeah, I think that
One Nature Valley bar.
Yeah, One Nature Valley bar, that kind of deal. What inspired healthy snacks? Why is that the album title? I mean, it's a good album title, don't hear me wrong. I just want to know the thinking behind it.
Well, okay, I feel like I'm probably in a more similar camp to where you are, because here's my philosophy. So there's a few layers to this. On the first layer, I think that healthy snacks, I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola.
Look at God, you're wearing a Coca-Cola.
Hey,
yep.
Same
it's perfect.
Spirit,
Cheers.
Same God. Same
Cheers.
God.
The Lord knew.
He knew.
I think Coca-Cola is healthy for my soul because it makes me happy. So that's a different thing. It's stretching it a little bit, but
don't you worry about that, because while you were looking at the natural, I see you viewer judging us right now. We were looking at the spiritual. Amen. Now don't.
Amen. Amen. Let's take it there. That's great. But on another level, the whole idea is that happy music is good for your soul in the same way that healthy snacks are good for your body. That was kind of the metaphor I was running with. So I wasn't eating salads the whole time I was working on it or anything like that. I will say I eat a lot healthier since I got married, because my wife definitely is a healthy eater. But I'm more of a meat and potatoes kind of boy.
Same God.
Taylor's more of a chicken and fries kind of guy.
And fries. Fried chicken and fries. That's what I eat.
We finally have Chick-fil-A out here in the Northwest, and I'm so happy about it.
Wait, finally? How soon is this? How recent?
Within the last couple years, but I didn't grow up with Chick-fil-A. It's while I was in college, they added Chick-fil-A, and it blew my mind.
Wow, what's your favorite thing to order there? I gotta ask.
Well, I'm gluten free, so I can't do the fried stuff. But Chick-fil-A is awesome because they do gluten free buns, and so I can. Some say I have gluten free buns myself.
Oh, I see. All right. Wow. The rating on this show just went up to PG-13. No, that's good.
I like the grilled club because it comes with bacon, so it feels like I'm doing as much as I possibly can in one sandwich. So what's your go-to?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there
you know how many times I've heard this, Peabod? You know how many times I've heard this order?
I haven't heard it. This is the whole reason I came on the
All right.
podcast,
I
man.
give this order,
There
and
you
I
go,
give it
Taylor.
for anybody that's at home. Okay, here's the order. This is the perfect Chick-fil-A order. If you're not gluten-free, you don't have food allergies, and you're not extra, you can make this order, and you're going to be happy. And here's what it is. You get a number 2, which is a spicy chicken sandwich. Now, hear me here, because do not just order a number 2. Ladies and gentlemen watching this, children of God, who I'm trying to bless right now. You get a number 2 spicy chicken sandwich, no pickles.
With Colby Jack.
Thank you. With Colby Jack cheese. You put the Colby Jack. It vibes perfect with the Chick-fil-A chicken. Then you get you some honey roasted barbecue sauce. Put that on that bad boy, okay? You're in heaven right there. Then you get a large fry or some mac and cheese as a side and a large Coke with no ice. And you're in business.
With one my pleasure.
With one my pleasure. And you're in business. That's my order. I order that like every day.
Wow. That's amazing. It makes me wish that I could eat it.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, I will say this:
just crying over here.
Your grilled chicken sandwich that you order. When I was a kid, I was one of those homeschool kids that's like allergic to literally everything. I was allergic to wheat, soy, corn, tomatoes,
Sunlight.
rice, and every nut. Sunlight probably, but I don't think the allergists picked that up. So one of the few things I could eat at Chick-fil-A actually was that grilled sandwich. I always got it with provolone cheese. Plain by itself. Yeah, I got provolone, and then I put honey roasted barbecue on that too. And I got that
that's a good
all
sauce.
the time. I know what that's like. I know what it's like. And it is a good sandwich. For a grilled sandwich, that's a really good sandwich.
It's the best I can do. And, I'm content, and I'm just grateful for what I have,
Amen. You have to be. So we're talking about healthy snacks. We're talking about healthy food. Maybe I should take
And then
some.
we went instantly into Chick-fil-A.
Instantly into Chick-fil-A.
I
Guys,
don't know if it's healthy, but
Oh, now
healthy
hold
for
on
your
a second.
soul.
For your soul.
for your soul.
Thank
there
you,
it is.
Peabod.
There's the metaphor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peabod. Anyway, so you made healthy snacks. I love that we're talking about healthy food. Let me ask you about this more because I know you've been in music for a while. The only thing I know you for is healthy snacks, Peabod raps, and your singles you've put out, like Antisocial. That's his favorite. He's the introvert.
Yeah, I've been bopping to that today.
So he
Yes,
likes
That was my
Antisocial.
anthem today. But I was like, I gotta go
appreciate
talk
it.
to people now.
I'm an extrovert, so I like that song. I've listened to it like twice in my life when I was feeling antisocial. The rest of the time, I was like, it's a good song. I vibe with. I love Summertime. That's a great song, and
Thanks,
and
man.
Coca-Cola, sweetest Coca-Cola. Let me ask you this: where did the musical inspiration behind this come from? Like, how did you get into music initially? Like, what led you into that?
Yeah. I took piano lessons and guitar lessons and stuff all growing up. And my dad has always been something of a creative force. Like he's got like a young adult fiction book that's with an agent right now that's getting pitched to publishers. Ooh. He's got like a screenplay that he won an award for, and he's a pastor on top of all of this. So it's like, it's all like side hustle just for fun, doing it for himself kind of stuff. And before all that, he would write songs with a friend of ours named Scott Kerpane, who has been in Christian music a long time. Anyways, because of that, I was like, I totally want to do music that's fun and creative. And so it's just been the dream for a while. But I started out doing like singer-songwriter, acoustic stuff.
Like Bethel Worship, like Bethel, like Oceans, Reckless Love. Like what are we talking here? How far on the white people scale of worship does this go into?
It was definitely more like it was more like introspective, like me and the Lord, and like not congregational at all. Like,
Gotcha.
Probably far too serious for its own good. And which is funny considering what I make now, but that's kind of where I started. But I always loved hip hop, and so the Peabod healthy snack stuff started with I was living in this house with 4 other dudes, and one of our roommates is named Fletcher. And
Summer Fletcher, I know that one.
Yes, that's the first Peabod song I wrote.
Really?
Because my buddy Jake, who has done all my videos, was like, man, you got to write a song about Fletcher. And I was like, well, Fletcher likes country music, and I can't bring myself to write. I actually like country music now, but at the time I was like, I listen to everything except country. Like,
yeah,
that
you're one
cliche.
of those guys. Okay.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. And so I was like, okay, well, there's got to be some country, but I'm going to make a hip hop track about this, and just for fun. And so, and I put that out, and like all my friends were like, why have you not been making this instead of your like folk music? And I was like, dang, man, that doesn't quite feel fair, but the peer pressure worked, and so I decided to make a whole mixtape, and that's what ended up getting picked up by Centricity Music, my record label. And so it's been a really weird process because now we're working on new music, and it feels like the first time that I'm doing it like on purpose, because
I see what
Healthy
you mean.
Snacks was all like for fun, and it was supposed to be satire at one point, and so now we've got a little bit more intentionality with it.
So the moral of the story is peer pressure works.
Peer pressure works.
Yep,
And,
exactly.
Yeah, peer pressure
a
works.
good
And
thing.
I think so. It kind of sounds more like you were just kind of in a fun flow. You weren't like sitting there like, this is gonna be my album. This is the one. I'm gonna get filed for this one. You're like, I'm just vibing. I'm just having fun. And,
Absolutely.
And that one took off, which is funny to me because I found like what I make is not near to the intricacy of music or anything like that. But I found like with content, dude, I've burned through like 4 different YouTube channels before I ended up doing anything. And all those I was trying. I was like, I'm gonna get the views, and we're gonna get all the SEO right.
Yep.
And then when I made some stupid Facebook video at some point, and I was like, I don't care if anyone even sees this. It's just fun. I just made it, and that popped off. So it's funny how that works out. You know,
I have the same story.
Yeah,
I had a serious YouTube channel for like 4 or 5 years.
we all did.
I barely scraped by 1,000 subscribers. Make a meme page where I just made meme videos. I had one video that got 1.4 million views within like 6 months of
That's
me making it.
nuts.
So it's just like if you just express yourself in like the most raw, authentic way, people respond. Almost like the whole try-harding thing almost like hampers your creativity, I think.
Negate your
Totally.
chances. Let me ask you this,
Absolutely.
because you went from serious music, apparently. You went from like, it sounds like most people where they had like an emo stage. Peabod just had like an really emotional on an acoustic guitar stage.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
And you went from that to rapping. Like, I gotta know,
man.
like is rapping, like, is that like a natural ability or is that like a learned ability? Because like, man, like I'm white, I'm really white. I have no hope of rapping, but I'd really like to. So is there like something I can do to like learn, you know, like just
dude.
asking, you know, I might want to put out an album in 2030. I'm just saying,
Dude, I'm just going to send you a beat sometime and you just got to go for it. And,
Really?
And yeah. Because I think like I for the longest time, my hesitation for doing any hip hop at all was like, no one's going to take me seriously. Like, look at my face. Look at how like white and silly and happy my face looks. Like, do you know Ryan Hamilton, the comedian?
Yeah.
His whole bit is like, where should we start? Should we start with my face? Because he's all like, you know, and that's a little bit how I felt going into hip hop. I was like, this is just a bad idea. But then I was like, what if the whole point was like, I really don't care if I'm taken seriously and I'm just going to enjoy it for the craft of just making music in and of itself. And that's really where it became sincere and not satire for me.
I see.
Was because I was like, I'm just doing this because I'm having fun. And if you're not having fun, like, that's okay. Like, you know, no one invited you to this. Like, you're welcome to come to this party if you want to, but if you're not enjoying it, then it's like not a party for you. So
Yeah.
that's your thing. So I think part of it too is I've always just had like, clearly already you're going like, wow, this guy has a lot of words. He can really talk. And so it was funny because like right after I got signed, my mom was like, you know, it's so funny that you're doing hip hop now, because I used to tell my friends your entire growing up, like, Isaac has so many words. And so now I just,
My mom
cram
says that
them all
about
into
me,
one
but she
song.
doesn't say it in a way that's like super like
And she
whatever.
still says it.
She still says it. She's still like, Taylor, you know, you're you're talking.
We're trying to get through the drive-through
Taylor,
line.
yeah.
You can't keep talking to the cashier, Taylor. We're trying to get our food.
They already said my pleasure. Okay.
Yes. Like they say that my pleasure, it's over. Like you got to
This
move on.
is a recurring theme. That when you can tell that I'm an introvert and Taylor's an extrovert is when we go to get food at a restaurant. Because Taylor is
Yes.
like with the cashier, like asking them about like where they're from, what their middle name is, like he's like getting like he's like becoming. They're like arguing within 5 minutes.
That one time
Yes.
at Taco Bell we were.
This one time he got into a full-on argument with a Taco Bell employee.
It was a fun argument. It wasn't genuine. We were just messing
And
around.
I'm just standing there
We were
like,
arguing over whose job was more essential during coronavirus is what we were arguing. Because his was considered essential and mine wasn't. So it was like, I was like.
so I'm standing there, they're arguing about who's more important. And I'm like, can I have some hot sauce?
Oh
how it
my
is, man.
gosh.
That's all we do, bro.
That's amazing.
So,
Yeah. Antisocial favorite song.
Antisocial. That's his favorite. I like it.
I made it for you, John.
Off
Thank
the
you,
jump.
Peabod.
Well, man, woof. Although at Taco Bell, you can't get Coca-Cola. You can only get Pepsi. And I just thought of that. So I don't think Peabod would eat at Taco Bell.
Yeah,
You know, the Baja Blast keeps me coming back, but it's a different genre for sure. I think of it as a different thing.
Right. It's a whole different thing. Well, you have a love for Coca-Cola. You wrote a
I
whole
do.
song called Sweet as Coca-Cola.
Do you want me to sing some of it? Would that be?
For real?
This man
You got
came
a whole
prepared.
guitar? This man brought a whole, is that a ukulele?
It's kind of an in-between ukulele guitar sort of
it
situation.
looks like if a shrink gun was taken to a full guitar.
That's basically what it is. It's still got the 6 strings there. It's tuned like a guitar, but it sounds like a uke.
Oh,
so
That's adorable.
It is adorable. I would love to
It
hear
is.
something with it, man. You brought a whole,
Okay.
you brought a whole guitar
Yeah,
to the
bless
show.
us.
well, we'll do a little of this Coca-Cola song and
Oh.
see how it sounds.
All right.
Sometimes you choose to go. No, wait. How does it start?
Sometimes you choose to have a good day.
Have a good day. Look out, you're losing to the other way. Ignore the news for just a few. Say no more gray. I'm okay. I'll pick a getaway. Lace up my shoes to go and meet bae. We'll rendezvous at that cafe. Girl, we can do whatever you say. Go catch a matinee. Pray for some sunny rays. I'm a ride, baby. Would you be my tag along? We can meet our friends in the mall at the Cinnabon. But you never thought that any day could be fun. But you never heard a ukulele on a rap song. Finger stabbing, cause you know I feel like rapping. And I see the toes are tapping. And all of the kids are clapping today. It is meant for laughing. And do what you imagine. So buckle your belt and strapping your dream to go make it happen, Captain.
Oh,
This day was marvelous. And when the sun sets, we will tell the noche hola. Let's open happiness. Cause you know that tonight is as sweet as Coca-Cola. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know that tonight is as sweet as Coca-Cola. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know that tonight is as sweet. Well, there you go. There's a little bit of that.
Hey,
Fumbled my way through that song there.
standing
but-
that was
ovation.
beautiful.
Standing ovation.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Standing
you.
ovation.
Appreciate it.
That was
Appreciate
fantastic.
I want to grab a Coca-Cola, go on a beach shore, and just listen to Antisocial.
Oh, antisocial. Yeah.
Not listen to the Coca-Cola
Well, it
song.
puts me in
listen
the
to-
vibe to listen to Antisocial on a beach.
Perfect.
I guess just how it is.
My biggest question is, how has Coca-Cola not reached out to you yet?
That is a good question.
You know, we've actually tried to send it to them, and I have a feeling that it's a little too on the nose. You know, like you don't hear a commercial that's like someone singing like Toyota over and over again.
You're right.
And you know, maybe that's because Toyota's not as interesting as far as like lifestyle.
Probably
you
not.
know,
Yeah, no one writes a
but-
song about their Camry, or like their Prius. Like me and my Prius. Like no one does that.
dude, that could be your first rap
Me
hit.
and my Prius. Write it
Yeah,
down,
dude.
Write it down, Jonathan.
Write it down.
Write this down
Get it.
now.
Send us,
me and my
send
Prius.
us the track, Peabod.
I got you.
We're recording this after this interview.
I got you,
real.
bro. Easy.
I will go for it. I will go for it and make it a whole bit for social media, man. Well, you just play Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola. And dude, one of the things I love about your music, this is honestly, we just really met today. I haven't really met Peabod before. I mean, I've followed you on social media for a while. You post cool stuff. And you follow me, so I'm assuming you like the stuff
do.
that I post.
I really like it. It makes me very happy.
Well, how about that?
Good for the soul.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. So, target market's being reached, Jonathan. Which white PKs. Me and all my fellow white PKs.
We're like, what are the demographics? Are we reaching our
White
target
PKs.
demographic?
Apparently so. Well, dude, anyway, what I was saying is what I love about your music so much is you rap about Coca-Cola with a ukulele, which first of all is incredibly unique. I find that and matter of fact, that's the first thing that actually, when I saw your page when you first followed me, I saw that you did something with a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I heard that song.
And I was like, hold on, this man's rapping about it. Give me a minute, because I get like 1,000, SoundCloud rappers that hit me up for stuff, and I was like, this guy's what is this? I'm like, look through, and I went, and I remember you put out the first album, and I thought, all right, I'll listen to the album. It looks fun. He seems like a cool guy. Let me just listen. But Sweet as Coca-Cola is when I listened to that, I was like, okay, this dude's got like a future. Like he's gonna do stuff. He's probably gonna be more popular than me one day. Whatever.
No.
Man. That's what I was.
He
thinking.
laid in peace,
and you knew it was good then. But you did Sweet as Coca-Cola, and this is what's so dope, is because you make a positive song about Coca-Cola. The rest of your album is nothing but just complete encouraging vibes. It's a great album to pick you up. But yet you have an underlying tone. It's not in every song, but I can feel the presence of God. Let me put it that way. I know there's a Christian belief system under it as a foundation. It may not be a real blatant whatever, but you do say some lyrics on there that were pretty cool. But I want to know, like, when you go and you make your music, and then I know there's this Christian belief system behind it. Where did you come from? Earlier I asked you where the song come from, but like what constituted to that, and how does your belief system really play into your music?
Man, that's a good question. I think it's changed a little bit, because like, truthfully for me, my faith looks a lot different today than it does even when I made Healthy Snacks. Oh, wow. There's never been like a point where I've been like, man, I'm not a Christian anymore. Like, I've always been like solid in my beliefs in that way. But honestly, it's funny that Healthy Snacks turned out as positive as it did, because there was a lot of kind of bitterness that I was working through with some stuff with the church. Oh, wow. Kind of like in general, I think lots of times when people have church issues, it's about a couple really specific interactions or people that are like most of the time totally legitimate. But because it's associated with someone who's in, and as pastors' kids, I think we get this at a different level. Because we know that people in ministry are just people. And so, but it's hard because when they're broken and hurt somebody, it reflects on a whole belief system. So anyways, I just had some experiences in college with some Christians that I think were hard for me to shake. And so that's part of the reason why I wrote Healthy Snacks, is I was like, I feel like I'm missing just fun, lighthearted music that is about joy. Like, there is so much scripture about joy and like having joy in our salvation and in what Jesus has done for us. And I felt like a lot of the Christian music I was listening to, I was missing that aspect of it. And I'm not saying my music is like an answer or that I'm that unique, but for me personally, it was really good to pursue, like, just have fun and enjoy this really good gift in music that the Lord has given us, and enjoy that. So that's, as a whole, that's kind of something that I'm always chasing with like the Peabod brand is, I think that the idea of joy, especially when it's connected to our faith, is really profound. And I think there's a lot to explore there. But all that to say, like, now, I think that going into this new project, I'm kind of, if the goal last time was like make a bunch of fun songs and then introduce like tie it into faith, I'm kind of trying to flip that and be like, here are the things in my faith story that I feel compelled to share, and then what are some really fun ways to talk about that, and some creative ways to talk about that. So there are a couple songs on that are newer, that aren't like 100% happy, but there's some wit in them, and there's, or at least I think there's some wit. We'll see what people say. They might be like, these are boring, man.
I don't know.
But I don't know if that answers your question. It's changed a little bit, but I think that the Lord's really faithful to, and he's really used music as a way to speak to me as I write and process my own stuff. So
one question I have, Peabod, is I think a lot of Christians are or have been in that same boat that you were in at a point where they saw someone, they saw something, and then it kind of it broke the glass wall on everything they thought, and then they have this epiphany. They're 21, they're 19, they're in college, and then all of a sudden they're hit with this reality. They're like, oh snap, is everything like legit? Or like they start to question everything. So how did you get out from that place?
Man, I think that there were a couple levels for me. One of them was, I think I kind of let myself get angry at God for the first time. And because I think, especially being a pastor's kid, I think that, I had a great experience being a pastor's kid for the most part. Like I have an awesome relationship with my parents, and I really enjoyed the church I grew up in. But I think because of that, because I saw so many other people's situations and I saw them getting angry with God and then coming out on the other side, I think I never felt like I had a need to do that myself. And so eventually I got to a point where, I was seeing, I think a lot of my hurt originally came from people, not seeming genuine as far as like playing a part on stage and acting a different way off stage, but then still feeling pressure like I'm supposed to act that way. And knowing that that's not wrong or not right to act, but still feeling that pressure. So I think I finally let myself go like, okay, God, why are all my friends having these encounters with you and I'm not? Because I don't want to act. I don't want to fake it. But I'm not, I see how they're encountering you during these worship services or in their own prayer life, and I just am not feeling that. And like a week later, there was like your classic John 3:16 Sunday. And for some reason, like the message of the cross hit me so much harder than normal. And it kind of opened up this thing. It was like, wow, like, okay, that's the most honest I've prayed in a really long time. And the Lord responded like that. Wow. And not that it's like a formula or anything, but I think that a lot of the language in my head that I had to kind of, or that the Lord had to rewrite, was I was feeling like he wasn't pursuing me, and like it was my job to make all of this work. And as soon as I opened up and was like, I'm frustrated with this, he was like, I am right here with you. And I've been here every single step of the way. And so once I was able to, a little bit later, there was a Sunday at a church I was visiting where it was like a New Year's Eve Sunday. And I was like, here we go. I know what this is going to be. I don't want to hear this. And the pastor was like, it was like a reflection kind of thing. And she was like, what's something that you that you might need to grieve that you haven't? And instantly I like thought about all these church wounds that I hadn't dealt with because I had been downplaying it. Like, it's not as bad as everyone else's. Like, I know people who got hurt worse. Yeah. And so really those two things, when I, one, didn't stop going, it's not that big of a deal. Like pain is pain when I let it be what it is. And then two, when I let myself get really honest with God, I feel like the whole last year and a half has really been a lot of healing. And it ended with I think forgiving people that hurt me, and maybe realizing some areas where I was being extra judgy and bitter, and things that I could let go of because I've grown up a little bit since then. Yeah. So, and ultimately it that healing has to end back in the church, I think. 'Cause I think that Like I have a lot of friends who have walked away, and even if they're in a healthier spot now, the loop never quite closes because church always ends up being this place of pain instead of getting to a point where they've come full circle and reconciled and let the Lord finish the work that's there.
Right.
So
That's so good.
Wow. Man, first of all, thanks for opening up and being so vulnerable up on the podcast.
for sure. Sorry, I just took it there.
No,
No.
100%.
Because that's where so many people are.
There are so many people. I've gotten messages before where people, they'll DM and they'll say they've been hurt by the church. They've had issues. They're mad at God. And the fact of the matter is there's not really a right answer you can give to that.
Right.
There's not really there's not something where I could be like, hey, do this, and then all of a sudden everything's going to be okay. It's something you have to seek out with God yourself, which you evidently did. And I've been there at times. It's not easy. It's definitely not something where you can just pat someone on the back and say, get over it and keep walking.
Right.
It's something you have to walk out with God on a daily basis many times.
But those two steps, honesty and what was the other one?
No, I got to remember too.
Honesty. I'm going blank.
Walking it out with God.
Walking it out with God.
It's something where that's where the church relationship becomes a personal relationship.
Totally. It's honesty, and I think like legitimizing your pain.
Yeah,
and
that's what it was.
You know, not downplaying it.
Yeah, because we can kid ourselves into thinking you can make all these false comparisons and thinking that your pain. Okay, well, I have a friend who just lost their mom to cancer. So what does God care about my little church hurt? He's got better things to do. Yeah, you can kid yourself into thinking that God doesn't care about your problems, but he is such a personal, relational God that he cares about the smallest pain, and he celebrates with you in the smallest victory.
That's right. That's exactly
Amen.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that same scenario applies in the good times too. It's like, you know, the part of the whole thing that got me to this place was comparison and feeling like, you know, like even the people I was frustrated with, comparing my faith to theirs and feeling like I need it to look the same, when really, like, if we believe in the God that we do, he's big enough to have a perfectly intimate relationship with each of us in a way that makes sense for how he designed us.
That's true. I couldn't say that any better. And I think that's part of the thing when people I know a lot of Christians, they don't have a personal relationship with God. And there's a lot of people that follow me that it's a very diverse belief setting within Christianity. And one thing I always continually push is for people to seek God for themselves and be open to how he responds, because he responds to everybody differently. How he talks and led you out of that might not be how he'd do that for me or for Johnathan. So it's something where people have to break the church mentality, because you were never designed or intended to have a relationship with church. You're just part of the church. You were designed and intended to have a relationship with God. And what that looks like and what that sounds like, he'll lead you to. It's not something you even have to figure out. Which is where that goes. But I'm really honored that you shared this today on this podcast, Peabod. And I don't know what this means for music, but the next album is going to be fire.
I am really excited.
I'm very excited. Out of this. It's like, remember when The Weeknd broke up with Selena Gomez and everyone was like, this next album.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, that's what I'm feeling right now, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm excited for the new stuff. We're still a little bit like, I don't have release dates all scheduled yet, but we've been making some good progress, and we're just kind of chasing down the last features and starting to send stuff to mix. So I'm really excited. I think that it's the first time that I've accepted that, like, being a Christian and doing any kind of work means that it's a ministry.
That's right.
And so, and that it's the first time I haven't been mad about that. You know, I think as a PK, when I first got signed and then realized, like, oh crap, this is a ministry.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. And so now I'm like pumped about it. So I'm really excited for the new release.
Every PK's been there, where it's like their whole life you've been told, like, God's going to use you. You're going to be in the ministry. You're going to be used. And you're just like, and then you end up in that place. I'm like, I'm on a podcast and we're talking about the gospel and like we're encouraging people. No, it's all true. It's all true.
Oh,
every bit of it.
It's so funny. Because all those conversations are like, okay, Janet. Yep. Go back to the kids
Exactly.
ministry.
All right.
You know how many okay Janets we've all collectively probably.
Yes.
Okay, Janet, go back to selling essential oils in the lobby. Thank you. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to get some mac and cheese from the potluck. Okay, let me through, please.
Yes.
The choir is getting free food after. That's the only reason I'm even still here. Okay. You know?
Oh my
But I get it, man. But no, so at the time of this podcast, we're a little bit out in the future, but at the time of recording this a couple weeks ago, you did a song, you did an acoustic. I wouldn't call it worship because it wasn't like a corporate setting deal, but you did something on your Instagram that was special. Schaefer watched it and he told me about it.
Yeah, it was so
and
good.
then I went and watched it and it was good, man. Is that?
Thank you, man.
I would encourage you. I'll link it in the description of this if you guys want to check it out. So don't delete it, people. Leave
I
it
won't
up.
delete it.
You guys could go check it out, but it was very intimate. It was very, when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. So I know what this man's about. I know what's up here. But it was something where I was like, I wonder if he's gonna make anything more like that. Is that something you're gonna perform in the future? Is that just you vibing on Instagram during quarantine? Like what, you know?
Are you talking about the like Good Friday song?
Yes, yeah, that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly that is a little bit more in the vein of what I used to write, the kind of more singer-songwriter stuff. You know, less angsty than maybe some of it back in the day. It wasn't a breakup song exactly, but I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and like the piece of me that has a little bit of like ADD would like to just go like, today we're making a reggae song, like tomorrow we're making a country song, like, and the cool thing too is like as you meet more people, like I'm hoping to get in touch with some people with some really great jazz chops and do some more like jazz fusion hip hop kind of stuff.
I would love some jazz.
You're speaking our language, people.
Yes, let's go.
Would it come on my Spotify lo-fi like
Yes.
playlist?
Beats to relax / study to.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
that's my stream.
If you show up on there, you've made it.
You made it.
Perfect. Yeah, man. Honestly, like I think I feel the most free to create kind of just like whatever comes at this point than ever before. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome. We're excited to listen to it.
We are too.
Oh, thank you.
We are too. Well, praise God.
Appreciate it.
Peabod Raps. He's been on the show. He's been vulnerable. He's talked about his new album. He played music. Is there anything parting you would like to do? Anything you'd like to say?
Well, John asked me to bring one other song prepared.
Oh,
so if you want me to bust out the little guitar ukulele one more time.
You can bring out that ukulele on the show anytime you want. Man. It's all
That shrunken guitar.
the shrunken guitar. Oh man. This song is from Healthy Snacks. It just has felt fitting lately. Every single little like Instagram live thing I've done, I've kind of closed with this song. It's called Okay. I think everyone right now is kind of wondering like, is it gonna be okay? It feels a little bit sketchy, and that's all legit. Like it's, you know, we're in a weird spot. And so I feel like that, I don't know, as Christians, we have a unique ability to go like, we know it's going to be okay in the long run because we know Jesus. That's right. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have some, you know, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be more hard stuff in the future. For sure. There probably is going to be. But I think I just feel grateful, and like we're really uniquely positioned to talk about hope in this time. So this song's about hope and about feeling weird and all of the above. So
take it away.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's called Okay. So okay. I think I remember how it starts this time. You know, sometimes I have those days that I get extra introspective and I feel disconnected. As suspect, I've neglected to expecting correct moments in my fast-growing collection. Cause generally I'm positive and don't seek out dejection. Everybody flexing big like Texas in their Lexuses, but me, I hang my head like I had lead in all my necklaces. I ain't been reckless, but I'm no less of a wreck. I check my checklist, every single box is checked. Did someone put a hex on me like Harry Potter wizardry, or spray me with rejection? injection weed killer to make me withery. Deep down I think I know that being human isn't easy, and sometimes it's okay to tune the world out with the TV. Why is it that some days a sad song hit the spot and any happy lovey-dovey poppy song does not? It reminds me that my joy and happiness cannot be bought, and even though some days are sad, it's pretty good this life I got. Sometimes the world's just a little too much. You play a sad song to cheer yourself up and tell yourself that you are okay. Say it, I'ma be okay. Sometimes the world's just a little too much, so you play a sad song to cheer yourself up and tell yourself that you are okay. Say it, I'ma be okay, okay. Hey, those are some good dance moves there.
It's all gonna be all right, amen. We know it, and we know it.
Those were the okay dance moves right there. I was
I
impressed.
couldn't help it. I went like this. I don't know, man. It's a spiritual thing, man.
You just are a rapper, man. I can tell from the dance moves alone.
I've been saying it this whole time. No one believes me.
He keeps on teasing this gospel album, Peabod. So
I love gospel music.
we may need him to go out to Washington. You can put him on the track.
Let's do it, man. Dude, I'm serious. I'm gonna shoot you a track, and I want you to rap on it and just like 100%? See what happens.
Do it.
Yeah,
Send
dude.
it. I'll do it, and maybe I'll IG live it or something. Just go with it like that.
This deserves more than an IG live. If he sends us a track and you write a rap for your Prius or whatever it is, yeah, that's gonna be something. It's going on something.
All right, it'll go on something, dude. 100%. Thank you so much, Peabod, for being on this show.
Thanks for having me,
dude. I'm genuine. I'm 100% serious when I say that you are my favorite rapper. I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
And
man.
I listen to
that means a lot.
Kanye regularly. I listen to other people regularly. I love your vibe, your positivity that you bring earlier, which you said you don't do that intentionally to stand out, but I will say I don't know anyone else that's ever made music like you, period. And one thing I told Johnathan before, I told him this a few weeks ago, I feel like you were made for a different time. Like Christian music, like 20 years from now, like you would be like the norm, but like right now, it doesn't exist yet. It's like, so I'm really inspired by you, and I'm really encouraged to see where you go next, because I think you're gonna go on to do some pretty cool stuff. Give me a ring when you meet Jay-Z or something like that, and you've hit success. Okay. All right.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Anything you want to plug? How can people find you? All that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess just be on the lookout for a new album coming out at some point. All my social is at Peabod Raps. That's same across all of the platforms. But yeah, man, I'm going to be just going live on Instagram a lot, just playing some music and stuff while we're all cooped up in quarantine. So hopefully that will be encouraging. But yeah, thanks for having me, you guys. It's great to meet you both finally and to hang out a bit.
Hey, it's been good. It's been good for the soul. Amen.
Good for the soul.
Amen. Y'all know
just like
y'all
healthy snacks.
Just like healthy snacks.
Just like healthy snacks. Y'all drop them a follow and a stream, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Well, guys, that was Peabod Raps. It was such an honor having him on the show. I love what he communicated to everybody. That was one of my favorite episodes we've done so far. Yeah. Was I right in saying I wanted to invite him?
You were 100% right. He not only was like the music he did awesome, but like he was so vulnerable and so open with us, and like I felt like I was like looking in on like something really private, but it was so helpful and encouraging, and I know that's where so many people that are watching and viewing are, and so I mean, I'm just so thankful that he shared that with us.
Yeah, it was so encouraging. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, you can leave us a 5-star review on wherever you're listening, and it will help this show get shown to more people. That's free, costs nothing. You leave a 5-star review, and if you leave us a written note, it means so much to us when you leave a written review. So thank you for that. And as well, for those of you who want to support this show, don't forget the merch is available on TaylorRansom.net. Churchy merch. It looks like the Friends logo, but it's churchy, which makes it cooler. And there's also Frick Frack merch, which is also available on there. There's hats, t-shirts, hoodies, stickers. There's even buttons for Frick Frack. It's all on there. I'll ship it to you for free. And it's just a good old-fashioned time. It's high-quality stuff. It's extra comfy. I made sure it's comfortable for all you guys. You can get it on TaylorRansom.net. And don't forget, if you become a $5 patron on Patreon, I will send you 2 free stickers. I will send them to you for free. For free, ladies and gentlemen. One for you, one for a friend, or keep it for yourself if you want to do that. Or give it to a youth group friend. Give it to your youth pastor. He'll think he's really cool when he slaps it on the back of his, Jeep Wrangler or whatever he drives. And it'll be a good time. So thank you guys again so much for listening. Check out Peabod Raps. his social media, which is at Peabod Raps. If you're on YouTube, the link is in description. And thank you again for tuning into the show. It's been an honor to have all of you on listening, and I hope you go check out Peabod Raps because he's got some great stuff. God bless you all.
See you in the next one.